He is 100% worth it.
He takes it to another level. Oh my God, I just fell in love with it.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Blew my mind. And it worked. I wanted to buy my thing.
Jay is, I would say, the Yoda of sales calls, man.
Just talking to Jay, he was so good at just taking what it is, seeing the opportunity and the value and the real reason we are making it.
Talk to Jay, because he got it. He can definitely help you out.
Talk to Jay. You're going to get a lot. You're going to gain a lot.
I would absolutely recommend him for any position that you have.
Jay's definitely the guy.
Give him the chance, give him the opportunity. You won't regret it.
He's good at what he does, so I highly recommend him, and I would book him before he is fully booked out.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sales Ninja Show podcast, where we cut through the noise, ditch outdated sales tactics, and actually show you how to close deals with confidence, strategy, and integrity. Hi, my name is Jay Lee, founder of Sales Ninja, and as a former banker, former introvert, former pastor, and seven-figure high-ticket sales ninja, I now help grow and scale businesses without the need for pushy tactics, and that's the heart of the reverse glass selling method. A kingdom-driven approach from the Bible, 1 Peter 3:15. And this is built on trust, service, and true connection. My mission is to help 1 million people break the cycle of generational poverty so that you can sell more to give more. In our last conversation, we dove deep into how today's guest mastered the lost art of prospecting and built a framework for generating a seven-figure DM campaign. We talked about his journey from building 8 companies, scaling 2 of them past 10 million annually, and how he's closed more than $200 million in sales by mastering communication. His insights on conviction, persistence, and consistency left us with a powerful blueprint for approaching sales with confidence. And today, we're going even further into the future of social selling. What is next for DM automation? How entrepreneurs like yourself can prepare for the next wave of AI-driven prospecting and client acquisition. And he, in fact, asked me to throw the hardest questions, which we're going to do in real time with a demo screen share to show how he can help me, how can help you get more leads, book more calls, and close more sales. This episode is about scaling smarter, building systems that serve, and creating sustainable sales engines that actually work. So let's welcome back Sean Malone. What is up?
Jay, I gotta say, dude, you gave me the goosies. Like, that intro is so nice, man. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for it. I just love your show. I've been listening to it. I think what you do is amazing, and I think your mission to help 1 million people is outstanding. Congrats, dude, and just thanks. I'm super humbled to be on your show, man. It's amazing, and for a second time, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, thank you for coming a second time in such a short time frame. So I really appreciate that. We dug deep. We went and did like some digging into frameworks, into DM strategies. You went over and beyond. For those who don't know, off the studio, off the recordings, off the live, Sean just went over and beyond my wildest, imagination in terms of how he could help me and how he can just deliver utmost value. And this is a man with just a classy act of human character and service, and truly someone who really wants to help you grow your business and scale it. So I have a lot of questions, and we were just going and kind of ranting and just, bantering back and forth. But I was like, let's save this for the show, because there's so many things in here, whether it's, business related or even personal or even with biohacking, that I just want to learn more about you. So as I asked earlier off stage, I was actually curious because I'm actually currently drinking this protein whey, because another one that I usually get, they jacked the price up. And so I was like, okay, maybe I need a different protein whey drink, because the other one that I got, went up so much in price. And the one that I purchased from a company that rhymes with Bosco, so it's a vanilla vegan one that I thought was really good. And then when I tasted it, and I still have some of it left until I returned it. I went to the counter and I said to the lady, I was about to give my whole spiel, getting ready for the reason why I'm returning it. And it tasted so terrible. It tasted so bad, even though it was maybe good for you. And I just couldn't stomach eating a whole, tub of this stuff that just tasted like cardboard. And I got my excuse ready. I went to the lady in front. She goes, no need to explain. I know it tastes like crap. Just here's your money back. And so this is what I'm drinking right now. It's like cardboard crap. And I told my wife just before I got into the show, I'm like, I can't stomach this. I got to either put honey or stevia or something in it because it is so bad. So I want your advice, Sean Malone, on a protein drink that actually works and tastes good. If you have it.
Well, I drink one. So recently I started testing the carnivore diet, right? Where it's like all meat, no veggies. And we did it very strict for 90 days. Noticed a lot of gains, lost some weight, lost some fat, got really fit, had crazy amounts of energy because I was in ketosis for the whole month. But then I started getting extraordinarily bad cramps and I had to end up stopping the diet and adding back in some light carbs so I could supplement like kind of the stuff that I was doing, which now I have kind of this carnivore / keto hybrid with a little bit of veggie with like sweet potato and some other stuff. So I really focus on the foods that just fuel me. And then I always have like a 1 day a week where I can eat whatever I want. So then that way I'm not ever saying like,
the whole day,
diet, right? Yeah, like a whole day. So I'll go eat like 2 pizzas if I want to on a
Come
Saturday.
on.
Right? Like, yeah, for sure.
I love that. I want that diet.
It's a great diet because you can cheat on a day of the week and eat anything and everything you want. You just got to be strict the rest of the week. So that's kind of how I roll. Like my wife and I have date night every Saturday on the calendar. So it's like, what are we going to do this week? I'm always looking forward to that. Like it's a cool thing. So
is your date night the cheat night?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so you can just eat whatever you want.
Yeah, I usually will go get like so like yesterday, for example. Well, it wasn't a cheat day yesterday, but I was just actually last week I competed in Missouri, and this is totally off the topic. Frisbee golf, right? So disc golf. I competed in a national championship that you have to qualify up to get into.
I remember you mentioned that last time. How did that go?
I took 14th in the nation last week. So, yeah. So like I was really pleased with my disc golf, and I think it had a lot to do with the diet because the courses that we were playing were so long. The average course I play is about 3,500 steps. These courses were 12,000 steps. So it was like I needed the sustained energy. And so I ended up taking my protein powder. It's just called Steak Shake, like the steak that you eat and then shake. I could show you a screen here if you want to see it. I don't know. I mean, like I don't have any affiliation with these guys. Let me just show you my screen. Don't show those tips again.
No harm in having a shameless plug with
So yeah, I don't know if you can see this now. Yes, it's like Steak Shake. This is what it looks like. The reason I like this one is just the original Steak Shake. Here you go. That's it. Okay, now you've seen it. We'll come back to the thing. Did you see it? Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what's interesting about that one is number one, the taste is outrageous. It tastes like hot chocolate. I here's what I do. I have a Ninja Bullet, right? Like the Bullet Whizzer. I put a humongous overheaping scoop of that. I put a huge chunk of butter, and then I put hot water, and I blend it all together, and I drink that once a day. And it turns out like this, and it's like I keep it in this canister.
So it's a hot drink?
I drink it as hot chocolate because it tastes like hot chocolate to me. Like it's hot chocolate, right? And I love it. It's so good. I could drink it all day, right?
What kind of butter?
Just the standard unsalted butter that you'd get from.
So you don't use like ghee butter or like some special.
I did. I tried the bulletproof. Like originally when I got into biohacking, I know Dave Asprey. I think you do too. You've interviewed him a number of times. I think he was in one of the masterminds I was in. I got to meet him before he blew up bulletproof. I heard the whole story. I was like, this is amazing. And so he turned me on to like the bulletproof butter, and then I got into ghee and I tried some of that stuff. I had a bad experience with the last ghee. It tasted too much like a cow, and I couldn't stomach it. So like I had to like throw that.
This is David Asprey's glasses called True Dark.
Oh yeah, dude. He's such a G, man. Like he knows his stuff, right? So
okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So it tastes good, and it actually gives you a boost of energy, gives you some good protein.
It's like it's whey protein, but then it's also got, because I was on that diet, the carnivore keto, is like I needed to supplement my body with the meats that are really valuable. So like the beef liver, the organ meat, some of those like kidney meats. And so they put all of that into the protein powder with the whey protein, and they blend it up, and then it just becomes something you can drink, and it's like wicked healthy, and it tastes delicious. So that's what
amazing. Okay, I'm gonna look that up after this show. Do you use anything for energy and removing brain fog, or does that do that as well?
So I tried MCT oil for like some MCT oil for a while, and that gave me a lot of clarity. I even tried like my doctor prescribed some Adderall because I'm like an ADHD kind of guy, and I took some Adderall for like a little while, and I was like, whoa, it's like too strong. So I know like some entrepreneurs rip on Adderall, but it's not for me. I just want to stay kind of more natural. So like the things that I do to make sure that I have energy all day, must do 10,000 steps a day, every day, like non-negotiable. I have a walking treadmill under my desk.
Oh, nice.
I try to do pull-ups and push-ups every day as well. So I'll do 50 pull-ups throughout the day, sets of 10 to 15 at a time. And then I'll do sets of 50 push-ups. I usually get to about 1 to 200 a day, and then I'm like good. And then I'll go to the gym maybe once or twice a week, 3 times.
Oh, you go to the gym as well on top of that?
Yeah, and then I play disc golf. So very active lifestyle, keeps me fit, and that's
nice.
That's what I do.
You know, my health coach was recommending that us guys, as we get older, as well, make sure that we stretch so we're flexible and strong, and then also do wind sprints twice a week.
Oh wow,
So
interesting.
they get that speed and that burst.
Yeah. I actually have a membership to Hot Works. It's like that hot stretching yoga kind of place, which is, we go there probably once or twice a week. Yeah, usually.
Oh, nice.
I like the stretching too. I haven't done the sprints though. Come on, man, I'm 44. I don't know if I should be sprinting anymore.
I know and I'm older than you. And I felt like I was going to pull something or rip something, but I just try to make sure that I'm loose and limber. And then I did one this morning just before the show with my sales ninja puppy. So I usually try to run with her, and it gets the heart elevated, which is also awesome.
What's your puppy's name?
Kelly, which is a acronym for my 3 kids' name, which is Kristen, Ethan, Lauren. This is the first time I'm revealing this, and our last name is Lee. So Kristen, Ethan, Lauren, and then Lee. So Kellee. So I wanted to build it and bake it into the marketing so that whenever they were whining, I would say, "Hey, it's your dog. It's in her name. So now you go walk her and feed her."
Did it work?
No.
Oh,
well, no,
dude, the plan was perfect. The execution was flawed.
No, I'm just joking. They're doing well. I mean, there's some times where they don't want to take her, but they all have a schedule. And now they're back at school. They know that they're supposed to take her out at a certain time, and they love her. She's amazing. So
yeah, man.
So good to have. Do you guys have a pet as well, or?
I have 2 ginormous Maine Coon cats. I'm a cat dad. One of our cats, his name is Darwin, and then the female is named Tesla. Tesla and Darwin, and so they're named after big thinkers. And the male is 30 pounds, and the female is like 23 pounds. Yeah, I have the female. She's right here. Let me show you. She's sleeping right next to me, but she sleeps next to me all day.
She's 23 pounds?
Yeah, she's 23.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, pretty cat.
She's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sleeping. What are you doing, Dad?
Oh my gosh.
But
I love those names. Okay, so I want to jump right in because we're going to get into some demonstrations and screen share just to kind of show everyone under the hood with FlowChat, which is an incredible CRM. And since we last talked, my business partner and I, we want to actually do some services and potentially white label to help do lead gen for people. So that's why I think we're going to have to do another conversation as well. But looking back at the 8 businesses that you built, which one would you say tested your resilience the most? And what's the raw story behind maybe how you bounced back from that?
Oh, I would definitely say it was a combination of when we first came online, and then we built our first software product. So testing my resilience, I didn't have parameters or borders, and it led me into a burnout, into a deep, dark place. And because we had just all in, like after the first 13 months, or after the first 10 months, we'd done $13 million. And I realized that like I could not sustain working 20 hours a day. I was working 20 hours a day. I was sleeping for maybe 2.5, 3. I was living off coffee, Taco Bell, and water.
What?
I gained 64 pounds, and it was a really bad time in my life. The only thing that really kept me afloat was my wife. She's kind of like that ray of sunshine that I could always like lean on, but she started getting burned out too, because she was doing the same, because we're running it together. And even my business partner started to feel it as well. And so that was the time when we were driving to Russell Brunson's Inner Circle Mastermind back in like 2017. And I had seen a tree on the side of the road, and I was so burned out. I just said, F it. I'm going to end my life and drive into this tree. And I didn't drive into the tree simply because my wife was in the passenger seat and I cared too much about her. I didn't have any care for my own life at that time. And I stopped the car, and I mean, tears started flowing, and we're just in this place where like, I can't do this anymore, babe. Like, and she's like, I know, I can't see you like this anymore. Like, even her parents were like, Sean, you're so pale. Like, what's going on? You're heavy now. Like, this is not new, like normal. So we go to the mastermind, and I had this whole presentation for Russell, and it was like, you know, when you're in that room, I feel this big compared to all the people in that room, right? Because they're all the biggest hitters in the marketing space and digital that you could ever meet. And so I get on stage, and I had this whole presentation prepared for like sharing the journey of the business and how well it was doing, everything. And then what happened was I couldn't do that presentation. So really? I stopped the presentation, and I was like, guys, I got to share like the real journey of what's happened.
Wow.
And I said, here's my personal emotional journey, not my transformational business journey. You know, it's like Michael Haug's Tale of Two Journeys kind of story, if you've ever read that. I had the business success story, but my personal transformation was like this story, and they weren't matching. And so at the end of this presentation, everybody in the room was either crying or cheering for like the ups and the downs of like my negative transformation that I was having. Russell stands up and he says, Sean, you need to kill your software company. Like, it's stealing your soul. Like, kill your baby. That's what he said. Those were the words. Kill your baby. I go, what do you mean? And he said the same thing to Hormozi, because Hormozi was in the same room with me. He goes, look, dude, you're a level 10 guy doing a level 2 thing, right? He said that to me as well. And I was like, what does that even mean? He's like, you need to go find a better vehicle to push your knowledge because you're wicked smart. And I was like, well, thank you for the compliment, but right now I'm burned out and I'm running the software company that's crazy crushing it, but what do we do? He goes, sell it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm coachable. And so then it took me a minute, and we took a year. We ended up selling that first software company for an exit, which was great. And then I took some time off to kind of like bounce back from that, which was helpful. And then the other thing, actually just did a podcast about this earlier this morning, was burnout. How do you recognize and prevent some of the burnout symptoms? And the biggest thing that I was talking with a couple of entrepreneurs, and they said, look, calendar. My thing was the same thing, time blocking, right? Most founders, most business owners don't time block. They don't use a calendar because they think it's restrictive, but it's not restrictive, it's freeing. And what I mean by that is when I walked over to my other coach, who's Alex Sharfin, I said, Alex, like, I'm burned out. And he goes, well, okay, let's start at the beginning. What's the most important thing to you in your world? And I said, no question, my wife. And he says, okay, prove it to me. Open your calendar. And I was like, oh, my face turns red. I open my calendar. She was nowhere to be seen, but it all blocked, right? And he goes, okay, let's change this. When do you want to meet with your wife? And I was like, every day, 30 minutes, and a non-negotiable date night on Saturdays. So from that moment on, I've always had that time blocked in my calendar for personal time. What I've learned now past this, most founders put all their business first, and then they try to fit the lifestyle around the business on the calendar. But I think kind of the opposite now. It's like, what are the things most important to me? Maybe you like tennis. Well, maybe we should block tennis from 9 to 11 in the morning. If that's the time you want to play tennis, put it on your calendar and go do that thing, and then fill your business in around your lifestyle. If you do it that way, you'll never burn out anymore. And so that's really kind of that change that shifted me from where I was to where I'm at now. So, yeah.
Neil Pheromone.
Hey, Neil's my guy. He was on the podcast I was just on a minute ago with.
There you go.
So,
Says hi.
He runs a audio, a digital home studio business. He's real successful.
Oh, sweet.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, Neil, if you have any questions to continue the podcast that you had, feel free to fire away. Thanks for tuning in as well. Really appreciate your support. So that's amazing. So I actually have a question based on what you said earlier, which is, how do you recognize burnout and prevent it? Time blocking. It's freeing. It's not restrictive. I love that. You can tweet that. I think that could be a Sean Malone quote. And you said, when your coach said, what's the most important thing in your life, which is your wife, happy life, but she wasn't on your calendar, then you guys put into place a plan to have a 30-minute daily, personal time with your wife, and a weekly date night on Saturdays. I know you still do the Saturdays where you can eat whatever you want, which I absolutely love. The 30-minute daily, is that something you guys still do? And what would you guys do? And when do you guys do that?
Yesterday, so it's lunch. I have lunch with my wife every day of the week. Nice. Because it breaks up my day half and half, and it's like I get to see my favorite person, and then we always get to, like yesterday, for example, woke up early. I made some eggs and avocado, gave her that. We had, and then for lunch, I ended up cooking steak and mushrooms. And then for dinner last night, we had mussels and like pretty fancy food. I mean, like I spend a lot of money, but we eat together all the time. So it was, that's what I do. I eat lunch with her every day. And then Saturdays, I can eat anything I want. Yeah.
So tell me about when you say the cheat day, what's the biggest cheat that you had, and what was it? What did you do? What did you eat?
I don't know. So like even on my cheat days, like one of my requirements for health is 10,000 steps minimum. Like I think I said that already, but if I didn't, so that really gets my guilty conscience of eating whatever I want to go away. And then I'll go, like nowadays I can't eat as much as I used to be able to eat. So I'll go hit like, I don't know, 2 personal pan pizzas and a beer for lunch. And then I'll go out for dinner and have like some, like a calzone or something. Yeah, maybe, right? Because I love pizza. That's one of my favorite foods. And then Sunday, I kind of feel like garbage when I first wake up, and then I get my steps in and everything's good again. So like, no problem. Yeah, just reset it, right?
You repent from your sins and you just say, it's okay.
Well, I don't think it's a sin. I think, for sure. Of course.
But I love the cheat day, and that you can just eat whatever you want without guilt and still stay healthy. I think Alex Hormozy says, hashtag never skip dessert. And he has all these, lavish, sugary, high fatty, desserts. And I'm like, I love desserts, and I have a sweet tooth. So I love that you guys can do that and still have that discipline and still maintain that health. Yeah. I wonder how, and I don't know if we've discussed this, and I think it's an important topic, especially with mental health and, what is ADHD? Like, I think, back in the day, when I grew up, probably people had it, but didn't know they had it and didn't know how to deal with it. What is ADHD? Just if you were talking to a complete stranger that had no clue what it was, and just pretend that we're all newbies, because maybe, some of us actually think we know it, but we really don't know it, and we don't want to look dumb. And then how does that affect your work? And
great question. The easiest way I can describe it, and again, I'm such a simpleton, Jay, like you, probably your definition would be way better than mine, but what I would say is
I like simple.
So like ADD, attention deficit disorder, is what it stands for. ADHD is attention deficit hyper disorder or something, I guess is what the H is. I don't know what the H stands for. What I would say is, like, if you have ADD, you'll say, this is a great idea, and you'll get into it for 5 minutes, and then you'll switch ideas and you'll go do the next one and the next one and the next one. ADHD is where I think you actually would go a little bit deeper, and then you'd get annoyed with it and you just quit, not do anything, right? Like, so like I found myself losing motivation a lot of the time with projects that I would start, even though I'm like, oh, this is an amazing idea. And then I would start getting into it, I'd be like, oh, damn, there's way more involved in this idea than I originally thought. So I'm just not going to do it. And then I'd push it on the shelf. And I think this happens a lot with a lot of people, right? Because they're like, oh, I'm going to write a book. And they start writing a book and they're like, whoa, writing is way hard, right? And then at the end, most people don't even realize when you write a book, it's not even about writing the book, publishing the book, editing the book, or anything like that. It's about marketing. Like, what's the plan after that? That's where the real work starts. And so if they start down that path, they'd be like, no, like, that's it. So what happened for me is when I recognized that I was struggling with some of this stuff, where I would start a lot of projects and never finish, right? That's, I think, my definition of ADHD, is starting a lot of stuff and never finishing anything. Is, okay, what's the most important, maybe 2 or 3 things? Or, there's a book called Eat That Frog. If you've ever remembered that book from a long time ago, the concept is very simple. The night before the day begins, the next day, write down your 5 most important things. The biggest one of those 5 becomes your frog. Do the frog first, eat the frog first, and then do the other 4. Then you'd have an accomplished day. And so when I started just taking that simple mindset of like, here's the 5 things I know, if I do these, it's going to move my business towards the goal. And it always comes down to, where are you going with your business? And so it's like, where's the flag you're trying to plant? Right now, we're a $2.5 million business. We're trying to get to 10 million. That's like the next mark. And then eventually 100 million is a super mark for us. And so anything that I make in terms of a business decision, the only thing I think about is, does this lead towards getting to 10 million a year, or does it not? And if it's over here, I say, don't do it, push it off. And that's how I prioritize the 5 things that I go after. Yeah.
I love that. So, and just to kind of go into dig a little bit deeper in that for the rest of the people who are either listening or watching, you said Eat That Frog book, the night before, list the 5 things and do the biggest thing first. And that means eating the frog. But my question is the biggest thing What if it's the hardest thing? Do you start with the easiest thing, or does it matter?
No, you want to start with, and again, there's differing philosophies, right? So like as an example, in my last podcast, Neil just wrote, in there, but we were talking about this concept of elephant, antelope, bunny, rabbit. Okay. So in the sales world, we know an elephant deal is a monster deal that'll pay the company forever and ever. An antelope deal is kind of that really big, nice, juicy size deal that you're like, ooh, I would love to have one of these a week kind of a thing. And then your bunny rabbits are going to be your like consistent flow. So if we look at just take prospecting as an example, and then we're like, okay, what are the frogs, or what are the 5 things? Now, and maybe in this case, there's only 3, right? Maybe you only have an hour to do some prospecting, but you got to do 3 things. Say you're writing a book, right? Say you're trying to set up joint ventures, and say that you're trying to do outreach. Okay. So that is my elephant, antelope, bunny, rabbit system. So I know if I'm writing a book, which I am right now, about to publish it this month, which I'm excited about. My first step, if I only have an hour for my prospecting time, and those are the 3 things I got to move forward, I split the hour into 20 minutes each. And I think about, okay, move the elephant forward 1 step. Maybe I go talk with my publisher or my book layout guy or whatever, and I move that forward 1 step in 20 minutes. I can do that. That's cool. Done. Now I go to the next 20 minutes. Antelope deals. Who's the 3 introductions I'm going to give today so that those people can refer me into another antelope style JV deal, right? And I'm thinking about what these people do, what I do, who do I know that I can connect. And so I'm always connecting at least 3 people a week with other people. So I send 3 referrals every single week regardless. And then the bunny rabbits, the last 20 minutes of that hour, maybe I have to do 20 outbound to new people that are on my dream list that I've never met before. So I'm always doing outbound every single day. So if I only had an hour to prospect, I would break it down by elephant, antelope, bunny, rabbit. Those would be my 3 tasks. And I would go biggest to smallest first. And at the end of that hour, I'm going to feel great.
Amazing. That's pretty productive and pretty impactful. And I wonder, and I don't know the answer to this, and maybe you have a better insight than I do. The ADHD seems like would most people or all people have some degree of that?
I think so. I mean, like people get bored, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think these days what's interesting is you watch television. Like one of my favorite shows is The Deadliest Catch, right? Where they catch the crabs in Alaska.
Yeah.
I've watched every episode for 21 seasons now. Like I'm a nerd, call it what it is. But what I noticed in just watching like that show and a lot of the other shows, Game of Thrones and all these other shows, right? Is the attention span of humans has been diminished because when you're watching those videos, now they do B-roll and they jump cut every like 2 seconds. It used to be like 6 to 10 seconds before they would jump cut. Now it's like 2. And so they're forcing this goldfish brain mentality on the world where it's like 2 seconds and then 2 seconds and then 2 seconds. And so like it's being forced in your face. So now it becomes a pattern, right? And so I think that's why a lot of people suffer from, oh, that's an idea, but I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to switch over here, right? Like that's kind of the idea, right? So that's why I think it happens. I don't know.
No, that's really good. So what was the oh shoot moment? And I'm just trying to be, make sure the language is good here, but moment scaling flow chat. And you talked about just now where you're at 2.5 million, congratulations. And you want to get to 10. And where maybe you thought on a bad day, this might actually fail. And how did you pull through?
Yeah. So any business is about 90 days from going out of business, unless you're like crazy good at like budgeting and doing other things like that. And so there was a couple of moments in like when we first, so like if you go back in the journey of FlowChat, I think what's really, really interesting is we built FlowChat as a side product for our mastermind members. Like that was the original reason why we built it, because we were running this really hyper successful mastermind and we're putting people in there and they're like, hey, we don't want to do this off a piece of paper and spreadsheet. And we're like, oh, okay, well, and then one of our clients was like, go get a software built. So we started DMing all these CTOs and we got on the line with Bruno. Bruno, what do you do? I built the software, Sean, but I have no clients. What do you guys do? We have thousands of clients, but we don't have a cool software like yours. And then we put 100 people into the software just to see how it would work. Everything breaks. That moment was tentative because it was like, oh my God, we just committed 100 of our clients into this thing. And now it's not working. Like, whoa, right? So there was there were like heart palpitations on that. But Bruno came to the rescue. He stepped up and in 24 hours, he fixed everything that broke. And I was like, dude, you're like not a human. That's crazy. But he was. And he was like, he's like, great. And he's like, let's do more. So now he had some cash flow because we had 100 clients in there. We put another 100 in there. He hires a teammate. More stuff breaks. He fixes it faster. So the first moment of like, oh God, we had a mastermind running, which was like our cash cow. The software then upset a lot of people in our world. And that was kind of like my first moment of like, is this thing going to go forward or not? Did we just invested all this money like to try this? But anyway, it fixed it. We got through that one. And the second one was like after we ended up deciding after the second 100 of clients we put in there, more stuff broke. But then we decided, hey, we got to, because this guy, the CTO, Bruno, works so fast and he's really efficient in getting stuff done. We need to partner. So we merged. We spent more money to acquire everything, redressed it, spent a bunch more money. Now we're spending lots and lots of money into getting the thing like souped up because our clients were like, we don't want the mastermind. We just want the tech. And so the market shifted us into, hey, we should probably just go sell that because that's really the bigger problem solver. And it leads into all the other things that we do anyways. And so we started going down this path. But when we first did that, we first relaunched it, you had to kind of be like an engineer to run it. You had to hit, like go into your social, hit shift command F12, type in this code. It was really technical. And most people were so scared about doing that stuff. And I thought for a long time that we weren't going to be able to fix that. And it took months and I was kind of like on edge because we'd shut down kind of the agency. We shut down the mastermind and we're relying on this thing, recurring revenue. And so I think those are kind of like the two big times when I was really nervous was really kind of like tech related stuff that was kind of out of my control, I would say. Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's a huge pivot for those who are watching or listening, pivoting from an agency and a mastermind coaching model going to a tech software model is a big, big change. And to be able to fulfill and deliver and give the support at that level to that number of clients is enormous. I want to jump into some pragmatics here. So I have a couple of events and we're looking at the possibility of white labeling FlowChat. So this is a perfect segue. I'm going to do a screen share.
Okay.
And so we ran a workshop last week and some of the numbers that we got and would love to get your insights because you're the professional at this is LinkedIn. You can do 1,000 first connection invites on a LinkedIn event. So we did this last week. So we did 1,000 invites on LinkedIn. We did 500 on Facebook. Go ahead.
I just want to go back to LinkedIn for 1 second.
Okay,
if you go back to that LinkedIn tab for 1 second, right? So you see where it says share. Okay, so you hosted this event, right?
Correct.
So if you click on share and then you click on invite, I think it's invite.
Yes.
You can actually assign, maybe it's not there. But you can hear that right there. That little overlay is from our software.
Yes.
And that's how you can automatically invite 1,000 people in one click, right? So you just select them all and hit that pink button, start auto inviting. This way you don't have to select and click. The cool thing, Jay, is you have more people on your team. So if you invite those other people to be co-hosts of your LinkedIn event, they can also go in here and invite 1,000 people from their profile. So now if you have 3 or 5 people in your company, right there, put their names. That's it. So you'd put your guys' speakers as your other people in your company. They can come to this page, click share, click invite, and send out 1,000 invites in one click. Okay. So now you send 1,000, they send 1,000, next person sends 1,000. This is how you're going to fill up rooms.
Okay. Right? I want you to pause just for a second because I don't know. I know Sean knows this and I know I'm learning this, but for the rest of you who are watching and seeing this, I don't know if you realize the amount of time, energy, and genius that you're saving by doing this with FlowChat. So here, let's say I pick, because most of our clients from the States, for example, and let's say they're from, I don't have Sales Navigator. When you get Sales Navigator, you can do more filtering. Is that true?
So Sales Navigator is just an additional filtering set tool that you can use, I think. Okay. And I think like some of the questions you were having earlier before the show was about how do you whittle down to the right people? Because it always revolves around right people, right message, right system. That's it. Right. And so right people, here you go. US, you can do it by job title. You can choose whatever industry, company, whatever, right? And then all you do is you select all of them and then you just hit the invite button. And
how do you do job title? Because I don't see that option here.
Oh, it might not be in there. Sorry.
Okay.
School, keep going. Industry. So there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So those are the ones you got on this. So just go by industry and location, because here's the cool thing. When you invite these people into your event, some of them are going to register, some of them are not. But you can also import all of the people you've invited into a pipeline.
That's right.
And once you have all those people in a pipeline inside of your FlowChat account, if you want to show that, we can go there now.
Yeah. Let me just load it up here.
Yeah, for sure. And then what you can do is now you've invited all these people. Now you've already made one touch point, because the law of numbers says 60% of engagement happens at 4 touch points. So let's say someone's connected with you. That's 1 touch point. Now you invited them to an event. That's a 2nd touch point. Now you've actually pulled them into our system, and you can have our system go out and like a post, maybe even send a first message out to them or something automatically with AI. And then now you have that 3 and that 4th touch point. Now you're just looking for engagement. So I think most people get it wrong when they try to sell from the first 1, 2, 3, or 4 touch points. That's called pitch slapping, and it never works.
Okay, I got you. So, okay, it's loading up right now.
Yep.
Maybe it's because
it's screen sharing, I think.
So so let me just,
bandwidth.
okay, let's see there. Okay.
I have one up here too. If you want me to screen share, I can always do that as well.
Sure. Let me just put
either. It doesn't matter. Oh, now it's loading. Go gadget. Okay, cool. What do you want to see? Let's go through it, right?
Yeah. I want to see the pipeline, and like you said, you shared earlier that I can. What's amazing is I can not only. So what I wasn't sure was I saw the 1,000 invites, and I wasn't sure after it auto scrolled and invited people. I wasn't sure if it actually invited them.
So it invites them to the LinkedIn page.
Correct. So how do I know if that actually worked?
Yeah, so it'll say, well, I mean, if you did the same thing on LinkedIn, when you click invite, it says invite sent, right? So if you hit share and then you go invite.
Yeah.
And then if you actually just went over to, if you just clicked on Mark Carter's checkbox there, boom.
I just wanted to state because I didn't.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, so just click on the first one, whoever it happens to be. Yeah, you see where it says invited? That means they're all invited. So, cool. So it actually, yeah, there you go. Dude, so now you have, so that indicator will tell you that they've been invited. And here's the big difference, right? Like if you're inviting people to an event on LinkedIn, right now you have to click each one, invite.
Oh, I know. It's so painful and so manual and so time consuming.
Imagine if you could invite 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people because you had a few people in your company in one click. That's the time savings that the software just in this compresses. Like there's so many more, but this is one, right? So
yeah. Because I mean, I would hire a VA and they would be doing this manually, and it's super painful. So I already
you can do that. You can do this every week. PS, right? Which is amazing, right? So we were doing a workshop a week on LinkedIn, just like this. Yeah. We're running it right to a Zoom event. What happens is you did it exactly right. So you see like halfway down, it says event link, and then there's your Zoom link right there. Yes. So they just come to the page, they read it, they click, they register. You're good. Yep. That's it, right? That's the invite process. It's great.
So we already have 9 people registered, and that was like last night.
Click on that right there. Now what happens is a list comes up, and there's the tool again. Now that little overlay gray box, you can actually import all the people that you've invited. And now you can have a very customized conversation. Hey, thanks for registering for my event. What's the thing you're looking to get out of it?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so do I click on only import verified profiles and premium profiles?
No, you just want to import everybody. So you just hit like import right 9. Now you got 9. So you hit import. That's it. Perfect. And it's going to say, where do you want to put them in the system? So you choose your pipeline. This is your campaign. Put them in the beginning. And then you can hit show more options if you want, or you can I would do that because now I'd go down to where the notes section is, right up one, down, just add a note right there. Yeah. Say registered for event on whatever date that you did that. So you know. And that will be stored in each card in the notes, which is great, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would put a tag like event register right there. So something like that. So event register, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then I like to always put a deal value down there. So like, what's one deal worth to you? And I think in your case, it was like, you could put like 5K or something like that. It's a bottom line number for you, but I think it's like, yeah. So 5K. And then if you wanted, you can make the cards different colors. So you can choose a color if you want. So make them green. You're green for money. Hit start. And when you hit start, what's going to happen is it's going to take all the people that actually registered for your event and throw them into your pipeline. And that's it, right? It's so simple because now you've collected people that are already raised their hand. They're already swimming in your direction. They've already signed up for your live event. And now you come back and you say, thanks so much for registering for my event. What are you hoping to get out of it? they're going to respond to that question more than likely not. Why? Because you already have a connection request. They've already taken some action swimming in your direction, and they're going to be like, yes, I need to fix this, or I need to learn that. And that conversation goes, oh, I never thought you were going to say that. Let's just book a quick call. I'll show you how to do that really quick. And now you have a call booked, and now you can go close a deal.
Are you saying that you can also segment this, like this 9 people that register and then send like a different message campaign?
Yeah, so you could go, before you hit import, let's go up to your pipeline up top. You can build a different campaign just for your event registered people, and you can make it say anything you want. Yeah.
Okay, how do I do that?
So you would go into your up there. Yep. And we would hit where it says pipeline drop down at the top where the words pipeline. Yep. And you go right there, click that. And it should be a drop down there. Hopefully it works. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what's going on, but you should add new pipeline there, and then you just build a new campaign, and then that's how you would do it. Yeah. So you could do it from, let's see.
Doesn't respond.
That's super odd. Hit refresh on that browser window.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, slow. Just slow. It's just because of screen share. And then you'd hit add new pipeline, and then we could build one from scratch, whether you use a template of ours or whether you use your own. We would build a campaign. In this case, we would choose like a LinkedIn one. So you'd scroll down a little bit. LinkedIn book a call flow. It's probably like all the way at the bottom there. And then you just hit that pink right there. Yeah. And then you hit that pink button on the far right. Yeah. That one for LinkedIn book a call.
Book a call for this one.
Yes. That one there. And you click that one, and it's going to create a new campaign for you. And we can import the people.
Oh, I reached my pipeline limit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I got to delete one.
You could delete one, yeah, or we can just change one that you already have, yeah, or we can, get.
Yeah, there's other ones that I'm not. The other 4 I'm not even using actively, so I can.
Yeah, so we would just go delete one and then just redo that. But that'd be the process, right? So you'd build the flow, and then just like pretend this one here is the flow.
Yeah.
Now we have the people that you've just imported, which are in the lead-in stage, right? And then now we have a couple of options. Now you're asking me, how do we make sure that it's the right people? So we use a set of filters. The first filter you did already. Hey, they're United States and they're speaking English, right? Or whatever niche they're in. Those are going to start the pre-qualification process. Now we're going to qualify them against how active they are on the platform. How many profile posts have they made? How much, like when was the last time they made a post? And then we could see if there's any language. We can actually use AI to look at their profile and then deliver a first message and do some other things by building an audience filter here. So if you click into that, it will take you into, or you can hit the 3 dots. There you go. I think it's just screen shares taking.
Yeah, it's just lagging.
And then so from here now you would just build a criteria set of your dream client. You'd name them first, then you hit next step. Really simple. We would set up the profiles, who you searching for, where do they live, and then we'd hit next step. So this is all right. So we're searching for both, male, female in Australia. What does it say? Yeah, all those places. Now here's their activity level. So how many friends, how many connections, how many mutual friends, how active have they been on the profile? How many posts do they have on their page? Nobody has a filter like this at all.
Right.
And this is used for us to simply weed out the people who are kind of bot related profiles. So over 100 followers and friends is usually like the limit where bots kind of fail.
Right.
So we look for somebody that has at least that many. And then we also look for when's the last time they posted. Okay. And then how many posts they have on their page, because that'll tell us like how active they are on this particular platform, because we're always looking for, there's so many people across so many different platforms. We're only looking for the ones that are raising their hands, that are active, that are hungry and focused.
Right.
Because when we find those people, those are the ones that are going to do the best in most businesses, right?
Gotcha.
So we'd set this up kind of the same way. So we got 100, 100. These are all good. Scroll down to the bottom just a little bit if you could. There's another post thing down there below. Oh, you have can you put my...
I'll take the thing off. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that would be helpful. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And it says posted recently. It says 1 post within the last 30 days. That's a solid amount. So then I hit next step. And then you can just, you have a few other filters that you can use at this stage where, you can hit next step. And then this is now going to show, okay, what's the keywords? So you've done a great job of setting up, here's the job titles that I'm looking for. Here's the keywords that I'm looking for on their posts. Here's the ones I want to avoid. And then this will give you now this other filter set. So once we've got these people to get invited and registered into our system, we bring them in. Now we run them through this filter set that qualifies them even further before we've even sent a message to them, which says they must hit all of these criteria in order for me to even think about talking to them. This is great. It saves you a lot of time. You don't have to manually look at anybody's profile, and it's going to qualify people and only bring you the people that are active and hungry and looking down the path, right? This is how you get to the right people. The third filter after this one, so I'd go down and hit save here. We'd go back to your pipeline, is now going to be the messages that you use, right? And every message sequence always has 4 hinge points. Now, we talked about this in the last episode, and I'll just hit them again. The first hinge point is engagement. Our first message should never be selling anything. It should be saying something to this person so they respond. That's it. So step 1, you send a message. Did they respond? Here's the litmus test, okay? In DMs, because I've been in this game almost 30 years now, if you send 100 first messages to the right people, you're looking for anywhere between 10 and 40 responses.
For 100 messages?
100 initial messages sent. For the engagement piece, you're looking for 10 to 40 people to respond. If you have those numbers, that's usually the indicator of $1 million campaign. We just need to go optimize the rest. Okay? So that's step 1, engagement. Step 2 is transition. This is where we would start kind of more of the filtering process. So now we're here in our messages. You can see if you scroll down, there's a little button down there that says expand all messages. I like to usually hit that down there in a little white box. Yeah, perfect. So you can see here, you're looking at stage names. This is the vertical layout of your DM campaign. And we'll cruise down a little bit further until you see one of those blocks where it says initial message, right? So the first couple of blocks you just saw was kind of the qualifying process to get people through those qualifiers. Now we know we're ready to send this first message. And yours says, it's great connecting with you, first name. I love seeing what you're doing in your space. Crazy busy today. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, keep up the great work. Now, what's really juicy about that message is you followed the rules of DM copywriting. The first rule is never use someone's first name in the first 5 words. Everyone's gonna be like, what? Why don't you just say, hey, Jay, hey, Sean, hey, Jay, hey, Sean? Because if you look in your inbox, your unread inbox on any platform, it's going to say, hey, Jay, hi, Jay, yo, Jay, what's up, Jay? Everybody does this. So we want to be opposite of what people are doing. So don't put their first name in the first 5 words. Instead, put at the end of the first sentence after a comma. This is going to get you more responses. That's what we're looking for. And secondly, you said a perfect thing. You did a compliment. That's statistically the best first message you can ever give anybody is you say, it's great connecting with you, first name. I love seeing what you're doing in your space. And then you said something that's even more juicy. You said, yo, I'm busy today because most founders are busy. I'll be back tomorrow to keep the convo going. In the meantime, keep up the great work.
Right.
So what you did, if I don't know you and you say to me, I'll be back tomorrow, I think to myself, that person said he was going to do that. Is he really going to come back and do that? So as a prospect, I'm waiting. But when you have a systemized version of this where you come back and you definitely send that next message, hey, I'm back. What did you do? Subconsciously, you just proved your worth to that person. And now they trust you because you said what you were going to do. And then you do what you say the next day. Now you have rapport without even saying anything to anyone. Like it's done.
Yeah.
And then you come back as promised, take another deep dive. And now we start where we start the transition questions to further qualify them to see if they have the problem we solve or not. We're not selling at the second part, which is transition. We're simply asking them a couple of key questions to identify, yes, I'm struggling with this. I might need some support, right? And so you said, curious if the offer you have behind your brand is dominating your market the way it should. Most people would probably answer, no, it's not. And when they say that, right? And again, the third rule of DM copywriting, always end every DM in a question that you kind of already know the answer to, right? And so when you do that, now you can see here, it says, what? Oh my God, I never thought you'd say that. So they said, no, I don't think my brand is getting the most value. You say, what? Oh my God, I just helped someone else do that. I think you have the same opportunity. Let's book a call. I didn't sell anything to you, Jay, but you're like, whoa. Like, okay, I'm interested. Boom, and they'll book a call. This sequence will book for you for sure, if it hasn't already, right? And then they say sure, and then you say awesome. Easiest way is to just find a booking on my calendar. Let me know when you do. Again, they're gonna say, yeah, I booked, and you say, great. Now you have a call booked. And so this flow, just this kind of simple system that you have here is enough to start. Now, most of the time people say, well, I need more steps. I need more steps. And one thing that I would always caution is we always look for the minimum viable product that can get us a result. So if we think of a DM campaign as a product, what's the minimum amount that we could start with a test to see if somebody books? So in your system, you have, number one, they registered for your event. Number two, you send a connection request automatically. They've gone through your filter set that we put in there. And now you've asked them a couple of questions. Hey, is your brand doing what it's supposed to be doing? Maybe you have another transition question after that. That's enough to get a call booked. You don't need more than that, right? Because after transition, it goes to invite and call to action. And then the last step is, here's the clear future, the very next step of what we're going to do. Those are the 4 stages of a DM message. And so if you just start with the simple version, and then if that doesn't work after we test some production with people, then we go back and we add friction and we stretch that thing out so that it does start to book for us. Right?
Amazing. So I'm not sure what happened when you helped me set this up, thanks to you and your extra time. There was a good, bad, a pipeline automation strategy that was running, I think, for the first couple of days. And then my partner was saying it looked like it disappeared or it dropped off, or the questions that you had helped set to help book calls.
Let's go. Was it in the one pipeline, or which pipeline was it in?
Yeah, it was in this pipeline, which was my LinkedIn to book calls.
So that's the one we were just looking at. Yeah.
Yes. So you're in here, I think, when you helped me log in.
Yeah, so I was in there. Okay, so let's cruise down. Is there any other ones? Click that bottom one down there. Did we put it? Maybe we put it in that one instead. So let's just click that one. Okay, that one's only got one automation. Oh, there we go. Connection. See, because sometimes what happens is maybe we just put it in the wrong pipeline.
Okay.
So click on that pipeline drop down at the top for me, because this is your automation queue. This is where you'd set up all your automation stuff. So where it says, no, the very top. Yeah, right there, pipelines. And let's go to that bottom one, that book a call one. And let's see if it's down there in that one.
Okay.
Because those seem to be named the same, except other than Sales Ninja 2.0. So when that one comes up, then we can kind of look at and see if that one had those questions. Now, the good, bad questions, that framework sits in kind of step 2 of the DMs. So you got get engagement, and then you have transition. Transition framework is, hey, where you're trying to take your business. That's amazing. What's led, so that's good 1. Good 2 is, what's the thing that's led you to the most success? This thing. Oh, shoot, that's awesome. Love that. What's the big thing holding you back? So I mean, good, bad in those questions. That's the transition. Right. And then you say, oh my God, I never thought that was going to be a thing. Let's talk about it. That's all you have to do. So if we scroll to the right here, we can see where it gets to where it says transition. So right there, where it says message received, there's a little traffic light symbol on the actual stage name. So just to the right of where your mouse is, 3 dots, click that thing, and then go to assign templates. So this is going to be the template that we have assigned to this particular stage here. And again, this is kind of a deep walkthrough, but it's good for people to see. And then when this pops up, just hover over the eyeball on the right so we can see what that says. If it pops up, or you can hit the pen. There it goes. Okay, so we don't have it in this pipeline, so it's not here. I would have to kind of like do a deeper dive and just look through kind of your pipeline messaging to figure out where that went, but we can always add it back in. No problem. I'd rather do that kind of post show if you're cool.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's amazing. So, and you're saying, just for the people who are on Facebook, that if I wanted to invite, I think 500 is the max, that can we do the same thing that we did with LinkedIn, where we invite 1,000 automatically through FlowChat, that we can do the same with Facebook events?
So if you go click the invite tab, just right there, and then let's see, that would then be, we can't do that yet on Facebook, but that would also be a good thing. So this would be, and again, this is a great example of a new feature set that would serve you. And so how we build FlowChat is for founders by founders. If you see a feature set that you want, you would go over to our Canny board and you'd say, please, can you invite people to events on Facebook the same way you do it on LinkedIn? That would be pushed to our audience. Everyone would upvote that. And if that's the thing that got the most upvotes, then our tech team would go build that. So that's kind of how that works.
That's cool. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just doing it manually here like this. I got 0 invites left.
Yeah. So I think that would be, I'll make a note of that myself, because I think that's a pretty interesting idea. So.
Yeah. So, and then even though it says I have 50, it says I've exceeded. So I'm like, I'm confused with Zuckerberg. So
Yeah, I think everybody is, I mean, it's just been one of those things for a long time, right? So
even when I take away some, it still says. So this is a problem I had yesterday as well. So I'm not even sure how many I can invite anymore. But
yeah,
okay.
so it's usually a X amount a day kind of numbers, and they like to keep it low, like 25, 30, right? That's the platform limitation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just the platform limitation. That's kind of how.
Okay, awesome. So let me just take this off screen. I know we're up with we're actually finished with our time. So let me see if I can wrap this up because I want to respect your time as well.
Appreciate it.
That was amazing. I know that was a deep dive, and for a lot of people who are watching this, you get to see and kind of like experience how FlowChat works and the amazing work that Sean and his team have done to build something like this to save people like myself and you guys who are listening and watching tons and tons of time. What would have normally taken a couple of hours to invite people or to DM people, now you can do it automatically with 1 or 2 clicks. So that is incredible. So let me just ask one more question and then we'll let you go. So this is a tough question, but maybe a real one. So if FlowChat was suddenly, banned for whatever reason, and this may or may not be possible, but in case hypothetically in this utopian world where, the algorithms and social media and crazy people don't like what you're doing for whatever reason, what kind of business would you launch?
I would teach sales, same as you. Sales is the #1 life skill on the planet, and I still teach sales. What's really interesting is our mastermind used to teach 3 months of put the system in your business, 9 months of sales coaching, and that was our mastermind. So I could turn that on tomorrow or yesterday, and I could fill it up in my sleep, right? Because I've been doing it forever. So that's easy. But I think the bigger thing to think about is like our software is built completely different than any other software like it. And so if Zuckerberg says, whatever FlowChat, you're out, and they X'd us from the meta platforms, doesn't matter. There's 14 other platforms that we can still go play on, right? And so for FlowChat to get fully shut down would be kind of a I don't know if that would ever happen. But however, again, some of the pieces of when we went from mastermind to software, we're like, what are we going to do with all this amazing sales stuff that we teach? Well, we built it into the membership, and that's another piece of it, right? So you have your basic version. If you know what you're doing, you can kind of go do yourself. We have our growth plan as well, which is this is the one where it's like, hey, I want Sean to oversee my stuff twice a week live. Okay, buy that, right? Because you could pay me, $500 an hour is what I charge to consult businesses, right? Or you can just buy a membership for $500 a month, and you could get me twice a week. That's 8 times a month live.
Oh, wow.
What do you want to do? Twice a week live, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays is Q&A. Thursdays is here's some structure that you need to know, and then let's do Q&A after that. So that's how we do it, right?
That's
so
incredible.
we built kind of our coaching into the software product itself, which is a little different because most companies that build software like ours are marketing people. I love marketing people, but I'm a sales guy. So are you, sales professional through and through forever. Okay. So here's the difference. A tool built by a marketer usually is great at getting you attention. Here's 1 million leads. What you do with them, Jay, I don't care. A tool built from a sales brain person says, look, Jay, I don't want to give you 1 million leads, but I want to give you the right 100,000 leads. And I want to show you step by step how to do it until they give you a credit card. Like, which one's more valuable? Which one's going to grow your business faster?
Sales.
This is why FlowChat exists. This is why our whole system is separate. We got the stuff that'll do all the marketing stuff out there, but the secret sauce is how do you get those people once you've got them to, what do you say to them to get them to give you a credit card? Because that's more important. And if you can, we help people with that.
Well said. On that note, we'll close with Sean's mission is to help business owners master prospecting, build lead engines, and implement high-ticket sales strategies to boost revenue. And someone who has helped $200 million in sales, please pay attention. And when you do, you're going to get amazing results. Sean Malone, once again, thank you for this amazing repeat. You're a repeat offender, and you keep dropping gold nuggets and wisdom bombs. So thank you so much for sharing and doing the deep dive and for impacting the world. And last question is, if you had a choice to win between a disc golf championship or closing $1 million deal, which would you pick and why?
$1 million deal, just because I like the thrill of the hunt. Disc golf for me is a passion hobby sport. So I mean, like, it'd be great to be really good at that, but like I spend 8 to 10 hours a day building business because I'm really good. I'm just much better at communication. It's kind of like if you ask Bo Jackson, do you choose baseball or football? He's going to choose the one that he's the best at, right? Like that's the same thing for me. So
awesome. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the Sales Ninja Show podcast. If you are a multi 6 or 7 figure or more entrepreneur, just like Sean and many of our guests here, comment podcast to apply to be on the Sales Ninja Show. We are booked out for 3 or 4 months with amazing people just like Sean, who are giving so many pieces of advice and nuggets that you can actually get results from. So we are here to help you to sell more, to give more, and want to help 1 million people do that. So, but just by listening, you're helping us reach that goal. And if you can like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and give a positive review, we can reach more people. Thanks again, Sean. And
Jay,
until next time.
I got to say, dude, your podcast is one of those valuable ones that anyone could ever listen to. So if you're hearing this one for the first time, like, do yourself a favor, subscribe, download, share this with everybody you know, because it's really valuable.
Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Talk soon, brother.
Bye.
Bye.
Massive.